Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. If you're new here, I make videos about books. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. This is an introduction video for the Alphabet Project M. If you are new to my channel and you don't know what the Alphabet Project is, I am working on reading my own TBR, and I pick 6 books off of my 6 shelves that start with the letter of the alphabet. The letter of the alphabet I am on is M. It's been a long journey. I think I've been doing this for a year. So let's get started. I picked out the books for M months ago, and I've looked at my stack and I have gotten rid of 3 books. I'm just gonna unhaul them before I do that. So I guess I can show them to you. Hold on. 2 of them are YA. If you are also new to my channel, I was an almost exclusive YA channel, and I am no longer that. So a lot of these books I have had for a long time, and I just am no longer a YA reader, so I'm going to get rid of them. The first one is My Eyes Are Up Here by Laura Zimmerman. I got this because of the title. The second one I got fairly recently, and that's Margot Mertz Takes It Down, and I know I got it because of the tagline, and that's Boys Will Be Held Accountable. I'm getting rid of this. And the last one is Meet Me in Paradise by Libby Hoopshire. I actually might keep this. I just don't want to do it for the project. And that is 100% because it doesn't have an audiobook, and I'm not afraid to admit that. So yeah, let me show you what I am reading for this project. The first book is a book I literally just got, and I'm so I cannot wait to read that. This and That's Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. This is a MILF book, and I heard it's super spicy, so got reading this. The second one is from an author that I have read before and absolutely loved, and this is Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. I have read The Echo Wife by this author and loved it, and I have Just Like Home and obviously this one, so I will be reading this one. The next one is one that I was supposed to read months ago, and it just never happened, and now it's happening, and that's Mary by Nat Cassidy. This is a very long audiobook, but I'm currently reading The Stand right now, which is literally a 2-day audiobook, so now nothing seems long, and I will be reading this. The next one is Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. I know exactly where I was when I got this, and that is San Diego, California, that I went to in 2018, so it's time to read this. The next one is an author that I have read once, I think, for this project, and lots in regular life, and that is Ashley Herron Blake, and this is one of her middle grades, and this is The Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James. I know nothing about this except that it's queer middle grade, and that's all I need to know. And then lastly, the last book I got because of the title, I'm not gonna lie to you, and that's Mislove Books by Shauna Robinson. So these are the 6 books I will be reading for the Alphabet Project M. I am so excited for these. I have been waiting a very long time to read some of these, so let's go. Literally the first chapter is them just hooking up the whole time, and then they find out that it's Cassie's friend's mom. It's great. Cassie, the main character, is from Greensboro, North Carolina, which is where I live, so that's weird. I am 31% into this. I'm on page 108, chapter 9. I'm really liking this. So it's like taboo because Erin is Cassie's best friend's mom, but it's also forced proximity because Erin has invited Cassie and obviously her daughter Parker to stay for Christmas. They're in college, and so for Christmas break she invites them both to stay, and just their chemistry, they can't stay away from each other, but they have to because Parker doesn't know that they hooked up. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I like the dual POVs. I like the writing. This concept is just really good. So I'm hoping to really love this one. Hello, hi. I finished Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. I love this. I figured I was going to love this, and I absolutely did. A couple things. This is dirty. Like pretty dirty. And it starts off right away. They meet at a bar and hook up immediately. I am not a slow burn girly, so the fact that they were actually doing it the first chapter was everything to me. And then every sex scene just got dirty and dirtier. So chef's kiss for that. Things I also really loved in this, there was no miscommunication. Obviously the mother of her best friend Like, that's the whole plot, right? So I figured that there would be a big blow up with the daughter finding out, and this is gonna be a little spoilery, but there wasn't, which I like. It was all very mature, which I really liked, because all of these people are adults and they should be able to handle things like this. And I don't know, I just really like this one, so I'm gonna give it 5 stars. If you like female, if you like super steamy sex scenes, if you like first chapter they're doing it, and if you like shower sex scenes, I absolutely recommend this one for you. I thought that this was a really good romance. This was a good time. Like, I was it like groundbreaking? No, but that's not how I review books. I had a good time reading it. I thought it was steamy. It's not the best piece of literature I've ever read, but that's not how I rate things. So if you are looking for a good female romance, I highly suggest this one, and I'm gonna give this 5 stars. So I normally DNF books once I get to page 100 or more. However, I've made it to page 79 of Magpie Murders, and I haven't picked it up in over a week. I don't know what it's about. I don't care what it's about. I don't like the audiobook. It's historical fiction, mystery. This is just not working for me, and I am all about just reading books that I like, and I did not like this. So I am DNFing Magpie Murders. I feel like for me, I gave it a good try. I bought this so long ago when I was trying to figure out my reading taste, and this is just not it. I looked at some reviews on Goodreads and people are like, this is way too fucking long. It is way too fucking long, and I haven't picked it up in a week, so I gotta say goodbye to this. This is a DNF. I'm on page 209 of Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. I'm really liking it so far. This reminds me of Harry Potter if it had taken place at Vladimir Academy from Vampire Academy. But basically Ivy is a private investigator, and she's investigating this murder at the school that her estranged twin sister is teaching at. So I really like the complicated sister relationship. I think that's really well done, and I just really like how this is such a slow burn. Like, we're getting to know the teachers and the students really slowly. I don't know how to describe this. It's just like, it's low, and normally I don't like a slow burn anything, but the writing is just so good. I read The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey this year and absolutely loved that one too, and that was more of a short story, and this is a little bit bigger, but I'm loving this so far. It's weird because it's kind of a fantasy. It's like a contemporary fantasy, but I'm really liking this. Okay, I'm 76% into Magic for Liars, and I haven't updated because there hasn't been a lot to update on. It is just very character driven. We are focusing on the students of the school with the murder of, I think she was the nurse. And honestly, I know it's not YA, but it feels YA because we're centered in the school, and a lot of the main characters are teenagers at this magic school, so that feels a little YA. But honestly, I'm loving this so much because of the main character, Ivy. She's just a really good main character, and the fact that she doesn't have magic. Also, I think she's lying to everyone and telling, she's not saying that she definitely has magic, but people are assuming that she's magic because of her twin sister. So now she just hasn't corrected people and told them that she's not magic. So I really don't know how this is going to end. I have no idea, but I'm excited. I have 75 pages left, and I am just want to finish it because it's so good, and I haven't updated because there's not much to update about, but I will update when I'm done, and hoping it's a high rating. I finished Magic for Liars, and I'm gonna give it 4 stars. This is my second Sarah Gailey, and I feel the same way I felt about The Echo Wife at the end, where I just feel like it's missing something, and I feel like this, especially about the ending. It's hard to describe without giving away literally the entire book, but I want you to know that I absolutely love this. I just feel like it's missing something. I don't know what it is, but 4 stars. I am going to keep this, which is good because I just got it, and I got it because I loved That Go Wife, and my friend Erica recommended this one to me. And it's so funny because this is what I consider a fantasy. There were a lot of fantasy elements in this, but it was like a contemporary fantasy. Like, this magic school was in America, and she's talking about a bar and all this stuff. So like, I like contemporary fantasy. I love this. So 4 stars for Magic for Liars, and starting my next book. I am a little less than halfway through Mary by Nat Cassidy. I'm liking it so far. This follows a woman. She just turned 50. Her name is Mary. She thinks she's going crazy. She can't sleep. She's having these weird nightmares. Whenever she looks in the mirror, her face like distorts into this like horror scene. So she goes to the doctor and they're like, menopause. So her mean aunt is dying. So she goes back to Arizona to live with her, and just like weird things start happening to Mary. She thinks that she is reincarnated as a serial killer's victim, and that's why she can see all these weird things. The writing is so good. I'm glad that there was an author's note at the beginning, because this is a man writing about a menopausal 50-year-old. Like, what does he know about that, right? But the author's note made me like it a little bit more even before going in. I do love the writing. I really like the story. I really like Mary. She's crazy. Like, is she crazy, or is some weird shit happening to her? I don't know, but I will keep reading and find out. So I have about 100 pages left of Mary. I'm still really liking it. It's definitely going in a direction that I was not expecting because of like how this started, but that, like, it's not a bad thing. It's just like I went in not knowing anything, and now it's just going a different way than what I thought it was gonna go. But I am still really liking it. It doesn't right now feel like a 5-star. It definitely feels like more of a 4-star, but I mean, it's wild without like saying anything else. Like, anything except the first 100 pages is a spoiler, and that's why no one ever talks about it, except that this lady thinks she's going crazy because she's starting menopause. That's really all I could tell you. Okay, I'm back. This is pretty gruesome, which I am enjoying. I know that makes me sound bad, but like, mentally picturing the stuff that is written here it's a doozy. Something super weird just happened, and I will never get it out of my brain, I don't think. So I'm enjoying it. It's definitely interesting. I finished Mary, and I know one of my last things, I said this was probably going to be 4 stars, but no, I was wrong, and this ended up being 5 stars. However, the worst part about this is that I can't really talk about anything except the first 100 pages, which I already did, because this just goes so off the rails in such an interesting way, and I don't want to obviously spoil the book for anyone, but there are a lot of triggers in this book. But if you think that you can go into it not knowing anything, and you like horror and you like weird shit, I think you would really like this. This was a 5-star for me. This did not feel like as long of a book as it was, because I just like flew through it, and the audiobook was great. The narrator, like, I listened to it really fast, but at some points like scary shit was happening and she was like screaming, and I absolutely loved it. Like, I had shivers just from the audiobook narrator narrating the crap out of this book. So 5 stars for Mary, so I will be keeping it. And I'm supposed to read a middle grade, and I think I'm gonna unhaul it. I really don't want to pick it up, which is not good. I wanted to read books that I think I'm gonna like, and so I'm gonna look for another book on my first shelf that starts with M. So stay tuned. Hello, update. I am unhauling the middle grade. It was Ashley Herring Blake, which is why I picked it in the first place, because every Ashley Herring Blake that I have read has been a 5-star, but I'm not gonna read a middle grade. I'm barely reading YA. So off the same shelf, I picked My Darling Husband by Kimberly Bell. I am going to start this right now. Just want to keep you updated. Things are changing. I'm like not really reading YA, so okay. I am 100 pages into My Darling Husband, and I'm liking it so far. This follows 3 different perspectives. One is, the first one we got was the husband in an interview after the fact. The second one is Jade. She and her kids are in the middle of a home invasion and they're being tied up. And then the third one is Sebastian, I think, and he is the one who has tied them up. So I don't know much so far, 100 pages in, which is crazy because this is really short, but they're interviewing the husband and he seems guilty, like it's his fault that everything is happening, right? So I don't know why. He owns a couple restaurants, and it's like one of those fancy ones for like $100 a steak, but actually he's in major debt and his wife didn't know. So is the person who like kidnapped them an ex-worker of the husband? I don't know. We'll find out. 78% into My Darling Husband. I'm definitely liking it, but I'm not loving it. It feels like a solid 3. Nothing wrong with a 3, but I definitely have like figured out the twist or whatever, and I don't go into books trying to figure out the twist, but I do believe that I figured it out. I will let you know when I figure it out. But this is fine. Like, it's entertaining. I want to finish it, but it sucks that I feel like I have figured it out, but I have like maybe less than 100 pages left, and I will let you know. But I mean, I'm liking it. It's nothing like super original, but it's good. I finished My Darling Husband. This was good. I don't know, it was good. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I didn't think it was amazing, spectacular, wonderful, all that stuff, but it was entertaining. I have, no gripes about it. It did end a little open-ended, which I don't know how to feel about, to be honest, but I'm gonna give this 3 stars. I don't think I'm going to keep it, but I would read something else by this author. I don't know if I would buy it, but I would try something else. This author also wrote The Marriage Lie, which I have definitely seen this cover before, so I would be interested in that. It looks like she has several books, so here are the books, and then The Marriage Lie is what I'm talking about, and I've definitely seen that cover before. So 3 stars. Not gonna keep it. Would try something else by this author though. So I just have one more book for this alphabet project video, and I will be starting it tomorrow. I am 100 pages into Mislove Books by Shauna Robinson. That is 32% of the book. I feel like I just started this and I am so far in. This is the story about Nora, who is a Black assistant for a big nonfiction publishing house in San Francisco, and she hates it. She just found out that her best friend that she works with got another job, and she also just found out that she's getting not demoted, but her pay is decreasing by 15%, and she is not making money already, enough money already. We know this with publishing if you read books. So she has decided to take up a freelance job, and she doesn't know if that's legal, and honestly I don't know if that's legal either. But I mean, that's the only thing she can do. But this also has been a story about this interaction with their most famous author, who's a financial dude, and she got his lunch order wrong, and now she's hanging out with him in Baltimore at this book festival, and that's basically it. Normally I feel like I would hate something like this. It's so slow. When I put this as currently reading on Goodreads, the average rating was 3.32, which in my opinion is not good, but I am liking this. It's literary fiction. Maybe it's because I love books and I understand the publishing process and everything, but it is interesting to read about how much she's not making in publishing, and then knowing that the HarperCollins people are protesting. So it's interesting. I made it 72% into Mislove Books. This is a lot heavier than I was expecting, but there are definitely some things with suicidal ideation, which I was folding laundry and was just so taken aback that this went there. Also, I feel like people might not be liking this book because she's basically lying to the love interest the whole time in order to get a new career, which really sucks because I really like this guy. But other than her lying to this guy, I'm really liking this book. Like I said, I didn't realize it was going to be as heavy as it was. I thought it was just going to be a nice little library romance fiction. It's not. I don't know, but I'm gonna definitely finish this tomorrow. But right now it's feeling like a 4-star. I know things are gonna blow up between the love interests, but we'll see. I'm still liking this. Just a little heavy. I finished Mislove Books. This was okay. It was very much a self-insert book from the author. The author says, Shauna Robinson's love of books led her to try a career in publishing before deciding she'd rather write books instead. And the main character, Nora, works in publishing and doesn't have a passion for it, and then goes on this journey to find out what she wants to do, and she just likes books. So she ends up working at a bookstore, and that's that's the book. That's it. So I'm just gonna give this 3 stars. I will not be keeping this. I finished M, so I will be doing a wrap up and then that's it. I finished the Alphabet Project M. This is a little wrap up. Let's go. This one went really well. Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. This was 5 stars. This was my first book. I knew that this would probably be 5 stars because it was sapphic and it was a MILF book, which is how they described it, and that is exactly what it was, and this was 5 stars. I will be keeping this. The next one was my only DNF, and that is Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. I think if I were more of just like a mystery girly, this probably would have worked really well for me. The thing is, I picked this up one night and then got 15% in and then never picked it up again. It was like weeks and I was just like, okay, I have to DNF this. So I will be unhauling this, and this didn't go on my Goodreads at all. The next one is Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. Love this one. This was 4 stars. This was like a contemporary fantasy, which really worked for me because I don't normally like fantasy in like different worlds, but since it was our world, I absolutely love this. 4 stars. We'll be keeping this one. The next one is Mary by Nat Cassidy. Once again, love this one. I listened to the audiobook and the audiobook was great. And also Nat Cassidy comes on in the beginning and at the end and does a foreword and an afterword. And it was really nice hearing him talk about why he wrote this story, because it is a story about a woman going through perimenopause. So yeah, really like this one. It was wild. This was a wild ride. So 5 stars for this one. We'll be keeping it. The next one was one I switched out for a middle grade, and that is My Darling Husband by Kimberly Bell. This was a good time. This was a good thriller. I like the ending of this one. This just wasn't anything special, and I gave it 3 stars, and I will be unhauling it. And then last was Mislove Books by Shauna Robinson. I love the diversity in this book. However, I just don't think a lot happened in this book. Also, there are no triggers at all for suicidal ideation, which I probably would have liked a heads up about in retrospect. I was just not prepared for that. But overall, this was a good story and I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I'm not gonna keep it. So I'm keeping 3 out of the 3, right? Yeah, so that's pretty good. So that's the end of the Alphabet Project M, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Losing time, I'm fading fast.